Welcome back to our YouTube channel, and for today's video we are going to talk about what goes wrong with manifesting and our thoughts on it. So stay tuned. Manifesting is like the new weight loss pill. You know, everybody thinks there's like an easy quick fix when there isn't, which is why manifestation is a fail. At least for us. Fail, 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 fail. And we're going to tell you why. So, I'm sure you have probably seen, like a lot of people have seen, there's tons of like Instagram memes and things on Facebook and things on Twitter where it's like, manifest your dreams, blah, blah, blah. All you have to do is think positive thoughts. All you have to do is, don't let your anger get the best of you, and just be hopeful all day, every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you will have a house, a car, the career of your dreams, the man of your dreams, the life of your dreams, when it's a big. I think what I began to see on Instagram, and I think just online in general, is like a really big misconception about what manifestation is and what it means, or at least what we think it means. And I think a lot of people think that all you have to do is maybe say a few prayers, think really hard, want these things so badly.
Positive affirmations.
And just be like super optimistic about the things you want all day, every day, and you're just gonna magically get these things. But in reality, that's, I think, setting you up for failure in a lot of ways. And why is that? Why do we think manifestation is a farce?
I think having the idea of wanting something is part of it, but it doesn't make it.
Okay, part of what though?
Part of something that you want out of life. And it could be anything. It could be anything. It could be a house, a career, a boyfriend. It could be anything you could think of. I think that's where it all starts, with an idea. But because you hold on to this idea and you just think about it so much, it's just gonna, in a few weeks, few months, it's just gonna come up. It doesn't work like that. I think that's just part of it. And I think the second part of it is putting in the effort.
And I think that's where the memes and the gifts and all that shit fails to tell people, is like, you're not going to manifest things just by praying or thinking or just be positive about the things you want. That's wrong, and that's erroneous, and that just misleads people to think that they don't have to do anything at all. And whether it's through prayer or faith, or you thinking, I'm just going to get it because I really want it, it's not going to happen. I think having a positive view on the things that you want, and being determined and having goals and being realistic about things is a lot more realistic plan to get you where you want. Right? So if you think about a lot of the successful people that have gone on to be really successful, whether it's like famous athletes, really famous, influencers that you see now on Instagram, those are not things that they just woke up and they became insta famous. I think there's always an exception to the rule, though. I think that sometimes people quickly do become famous for, whatever reason. But that's not the case for most people. They've been working really hard for the things that they want. And that's where this whole manifestation thing gets wrong. And the way people explain it, and then the way they talk about it, it is wrong. And I think it's misleading for a lot of people who are not having like a full conversation about what it really means.
Not just that. I think the other day, I started following this girl, and it wasn't until I went on her page that she sells this package. It's going to change your life, like a 360, and get you everything that you want out of life, all the things you've ever hoped for. The friends, the looks, the X, Y, and Z, for a low price of almost $400 for bullshit. And I think one thing that I've learned is all these people that sell these things on manifesting, they'll hear it, they will hear several people and their versions of it remake it and sell their own. And the only thing I think the reason why it sells is because being charismatic sells.
I think my sister's right. I think there's a lot of people who sell this, and not only that, they tie it to like other metaphysical things. Like all you have to do is cleanse your chakras and meditate and do these things, and then you're gonna get everything you want. And that's false too, because those things don't work like that.
I feel like it helps. I feel like those things have helped me. Meditation has helped me to be maybe in a more calmer state. I really enjoy reading about the stones. I love them. I love meditating with them. But those never brought me the things that I wanted out of life.
And I think when we get into really desperate times in our life, or maybe we're just really down and stuff like that, it's so much more easier to get sucked into things like that. Oh, purchase this low package, like my sister was saying, of $400, and your life is gonna change.
Which I think sucks, because once you go through the whole stupid program, you read the whole fucking PowerPoint, and then you get a stupid little few emails or a personal message, you realize you got fucking gypped. And I think it's once you realize that in yourself, that you're like, I'm the only one that could change my situation. I could change how I look. You could change anything and everything you want about yourself. It just requires effort. And I think sometimes when people see that the road that requires effort, it's really easy to ditch it out or to try it and not
right. And that's why I was saying earlier that it's very similar to weight loss, because everybody wants to lose weight and nobody wants to put in the work. And that goes with everything else. You know, when we think about athletes and the fact that, you know, if an athlete becomes very successful, you know, 9 times out of 10, they've probably been athletes since they were like 10 years old and have worked for so many years to get where they're at, you know. But nobody talks about those things, you know, especially not social media, right? And it's good to have people around you who can also contribute in a positive way to your life. Like, you know, if you have people that are like, hey, maybe that's not working, try something else. I mean, even just starting a YouTube channel is hard. And
yeah, like with this YouTube, doing YouTube, it's not easy.
It's hard. And I think overall, like, it's fun. It's fun for us and we enjoy doing it. But not every day it's like fun to film. Sometimes it sucks. Sometimes we're tired. But for the sake of like being consistent and wanting our stuff to grow and actually putting really hard effort, it's like we do it. And, you know, we put our best foot forward and we try to make the best of it all the time.
But at the end of the day, you're going to focus and give attention to what you want. You're going to focus on the things that matter to you and put effort into that, regardless of what it is, because everybody's agenda looks different. This, just like with the YouTube channel, it wasn't easy learning how to edit, late nights, learning how to do everything, figuring it out, watching endless YouTube videos. But then once you get the hang of it, putting in the effort for it, it just comes a little easier. That's it.
Right, and I think there's other elements too, right? Like, there's a bunch of other elements that go into like people becoming successful and like the people that they're around, and obviously you having positive influences. But also, I think one of the most important things that's not manifestation is being the driver of your own, like being the driver of your own life, like controlling the wheel at all times. And I think one thing that I noticed that people fail to see is you have control over that at all times. If tomorrow you wake up and you're like, I want to change, you know, my diet and eat healthier, you have that choice. Every second, it's as cheesy as it sounds, it's a second to change things in your life. If you're like, I want to have better money habits, you can change that. Every day it's not going to be easy. Maybe you might take a few steps back, but I think being consistent, sticking to the things you want, having a realistic plan, having people that can help you. Maybe you need to pay somebody to help you. You know, having people to encourage you, watching YouTube videos, reading books, that's what's going to get you where you want. Not being like, I'm going to manifest this and have X, Y, Z, and W, you know? And the reason why it also bothers me in terms of like the way it comes off in social media is because it's misleading to people. And it gets people to think, maybe I don't need to do anything. I just need to sit on my couch and just wait for dinner, just wait for it to come. And it's like, no, don't tell people that. Tell them that they need to work hard and tell them that they need to really put an effort into the things that they want.
And that it's not always going to be easy, but you could get there. It's not going to happen overnight, but you will get there.
Right, and it's not always joyful, and it's not always a happy experience. And I think that goes with a lot of other things in life. Even when we get the relationship that we want, let's say you're with the person that you really desire to be with, that relationship is going to be easy if you want it to be a good, solid, thing that goes into the future.
Because they require work too.
Right. Relationships with siblings, relationships with parents, relationships with their kids, going after your career of your dream. And I also think failure is part of success, because I think it requires a lot of being that doesn't work, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, to get to where you want, you know? And, if it's something that you really want, if you want to become a really good makeup artist, start watching a lot of the really good, people that you admire on Instagram and YouTube, and see what they're doing. And eventually, you continue to practice, you'll be just as good as them, if not better. It's that simple.
It is. And I remember there was times where we had to refilm what we filmed. Ugh. And that was tough, because it's I don't want to do this again. I don't want to say it all over again, but it's part of the process.
Right. Or sometimes we feel like we're running out of ideas, and it's well, what are we going to talk about? Or, we have to go back to the basics, why are we doing this in the first place? And what are some of the things that we try to share with the people that watch our videos? Being realistic with the things that you want. Don't manifest. Have goals. Set out goals and be I want to, complete this. I watch videos on YouTube that are very useful, where it's you can have realistic goals, see where you're at 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year. I think for us, this YouTube journey, I think a lot of this has been just kind of filling it out, seeing how it goes. I think I personally set the bar high really quickly, and that really was a slap to the face, where it's more well, there's still things that we're learning, that we're trying to understand about YouTube, the way it works when it comes to filming, how to make shit nicer, funner, cooler, more entertaining for people to engage. But
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and it's all part of the process. So it's you're only gonna get what you give. So the more the more work you put into it, the more you're gonna get out of it.
Prioritizing.
You have to sacrifice time.
You do.
You have to sacrifice time. And if you're juggling more than one thing like we are constantly,
it'll seem like it's really easy to quit and fuck this,
Yeah.
I was tired. I don't want to film, but...
And it's a fucking oven in here, because it's 100 degrees, and I feel like I'm melting. It's bright as light.
Then I get snappy, but I'm just kind of wow.
But we're here. Anyways, the whole point is, don't rely on manifesting. Don't buy into the crap. Be realistic with the things that you want. Set goals. Set timelines. Set priorities. Write down the things that, you want. I'm not a big of a writer. I'll write down some stuff, but a lot of it's just in my head, and I have timelines in my head more or less. I try not to put too much pressure, but, do that, And it's just all about being realistic. And I think being positive helps. I think it definitely does help. I think it helps to be have a good attitude, which I think I also saw a lot in all this manifesting, oh, you always need to be positive. That's stupid. I get mad at this bitch. Is bitch.
I can't always have a positive attitude.
I'm naturally not a positive person. It's taken a lot of growing up for me to check myself and be see the positive. I think the way I've come to see it is see the positive in things, and just be grateful and thankful. And I think that helps me get in a better mind space.
I think what works for me is I go day by day, because not every day is good for me. And then when I didn't have a good day, I just have to be we're going to try again tomorrow. And that's it. I'll try again tomorrow. And that works for me. Maybe that's something you need to figure out. What works for you? What would put you in a better mood? So that your whole day doesn't feel like you're down in the dumps.
I think essentially for me was at the core of the way I was able to change my mindset and how I see things is therapy and just dealing with my issues. I feel like we always touch on therapy.
Always.
All the time.
I feel like my world, everything that I've learned is around therapy and reading. But I would say the main, therapy is my son.
But I think once I got that done and once I understood, okay, what was at the root of my anger, my hurt, my wounds, the shit that hurt me in the world. Once I understood all of that, I'm I got it. Now I understand myself better. So now when I get in a funk, I'm okay, maybe I just need a few minutes to get over it, and then, I'm good. And so it's about being able, not letting those things control you. because I think when you get caught up on all these like emotions and stuff, it'll take away from the things that you do want to manifest, right? It'll take away from you trying to spend time maybe to write a book, or you know, do homework to, you know, finish your degree, to work towards that degree, or focusing on finding, you know, job searching or whatever it may be. There's so many things, right? Maybe like to sew. I don't know.
So you see, the idea of focusing on what you want is great. Having a positive attitude is great. You know, trying to maintain it. If you are truly unhappy, leave. Go do something that's gonna make you happy. It might take a while to find, but go do it. And a lot of people are like, nah. So then they
and
make
maybe
everybody else
maybe
around
that's too
miserable.
extreme for some people. Maybe
probably
getting
is.
up and leave is too extreme, but maybe finding a hobby outside of work to kickstart what can potentially be a different career for you. You know, figuring out which other hobbies are. What are some of the other things that make you happy that maybe you could turn into a career? Maybe you're just satisfied with graduating college and just finding a nice, good, decent job. Some people are happy with that. You know. And some people are more ambitious and want to be like, I'm going to be a millionaire one day. Anyways, I mean, I think we've made our point. I think that people shouldn't fall into this whole manifesting trap and think shit's just going to fall on your lap without working for it. Period. So, with that being said, we are Dunzo.
Good night, San Diego.
Good night, sir. So, thank you for watching this video. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know your thoughts on manifesting. Tell us if we're full of shit and we're just assholes. See you in our next video. Bye.